Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So everybody's freaking out about the Spider-Man trailer. It was supposed to come around this time, and Tom Holland has even said he might not appear in Infinity War. So I'm gonna explain what's going on. It's not as bad as it sounds. It's not that crazy. So most of the time, everybody's freaking out about the trailer, like, when is it gonna come? When are we gonna get that first Spider-Man trailer? What's probably gonna happen is if we don't see it by the end of the year, like Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is finally dropping their trailer around Doctor Strange and Star Wars Rogue One, two big Disney films coming really soon. If we don't see Spider-Man Homecoming by the end of the year, they'll probably just wait till the Super Bowl in February, because the movie is coming out in July, like early July of next year. So general rule of thumb is that you get like the first big official trailer, like a 2.5 minute plus trailer, about 6 months out from the movie. Sometimes they'll drop a teaser a year before. And for those of you asking, like, why didn't they drop a teaser when we were 1 year out back in July? They kind of did, only it was just for Hall H.
Whoa! Oh, oh, that looks so good. Oh. I want to see it again.
Huh? You haven't seen anything yet, have you?
I haven't seen that yet.
I did a video for it, like explaining the footage in it, but they just permabanned any footage online. So I'll just add a link to that video at the end of this so you can like find out a little bit about what was actually in that footage. But they'll probably rework a version of that for the first trailer. Usually the first trailer is just like, hey, look at this, it's badass, it's gonna be awesome, enjoy. When they get a little closer to the film, then they start doing the story trailers, like they did that with the Rogue One trailer I just posted, where it kind of explains the story of the movie. Usually the first trailer doesn't do that. It just kind of shows you a bunch of cool things mixed together. But don't worry that a trailer has not already dropped. There was like a leaked list of trailers that were going to drop this year, and there was like an October 15th date listed for the Spider-Man Homecoming trailer, but that was on a Saturday, and nobody really drops big first trailers on Saturdays. Usually Tuesday is the big day to drop big trailers. So just don't worry about it. They just started editing the movie, like they wrapped a little while ago, like I posted a video. John Watts, the director's been posting stuff from behind the scenes, like, hey, look, we're doing green screen today. Tom Holland posts stuff, hey, look at these stunts that I'm working on. So they've been feeding out like really short behind the scenes teasers, just like, hey, this is what's going on, just a quick update. When they get ready to drop an actual teaser, you'll start seeing more of that stuff. So the more you see Marvel and people with the movie posting stuff, the closer we are to getting actual footage. They usually do, they kind of ramp up and then it's like, boom, just drop the bomb on you. But just expect that to be a slightly more polished version of the Comic-Con trailer. Just something really fun to give you an idea for the energy of the film while showing off some of the big characters like Zendaya. I know everybody thinks that she's Mary Jane. That's still unconfirmed. There was a little bit of a vulture fight during that Comic-Con trailer. They'll probably put that in there too, just to let you know who some of the big villains are, some of the big challenges. But mostly it'll focus on the fun stuff. Young Peter Parker in high school, also trying to be Spider-Man at the same time. Would not be surprised if they also try to work Robert Downey Jr. into that first trailer too, just because he is such a draw for audiences, but I'm not expecting him to wear his armor in any trailer footage, maybe in like the very last trailer. Now the other reason people were freaking out about Spider-Man stuff was about Avengers Infinity War. Tom Holland was doing an interview recently where people were asking him about his involvement with Infinity War. Everybody expects him to be in it, but he said, it's all up in the air, like air quotes. I believe some sort of deal is in the mix, but I'm unclear as to what that deal is. So some people interpreted that as him saying, I might not be in the movie, but that's not what's going on at all. But when he auditioned for the role of Peter Parker, Spider-Man in Civil War, that was also kind of an audition for the next big solo Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man Homecoming, with the idea that it would become a trilogy. So naturally, you would expect that the contract he had to sign had all those movies on it. So if Marvel wants him to be in a movie, they can say, you have to be in this movie, and he's contractually obligated to appear. It's the same thing with Tom Hiddleston. Any of the other actors that sign multi-picture deals, Marvel just builds a standard number of options into its contracts. Now there are certain special cases, like with people like Michael Douglas, who is in the Ant-Man movie as Hank Pym, big character, but he's such an expensive actor and it's a bit of a stunt casting that they probably don't sign people like that to 6-picture deals. Samuel Jackson, too, had a slightly different contract. So don't worry, if they want to use Tom Holland, Spider-Man in a movie, it's not going to be an issue. Typically, like when people say they're working the deal out, it's really just like the little stuff. Like, Do the directors actually want to use him? Is there a version of the script that does not include the character? Like there was an early draft of Captain America Civil War that had Carol Danvers in it. That got thrown out early on just because they're like, there's way too much stuff happening in this movie. We need to focus on the core characters more. So just general rule of thumb is that they're going to start focusing on these new characters more. So you have Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, Black Panther. They'll always have the core Avengers characters in there. Like I think they'll all re-sign their contracts and do Robert Downey Jr. type things where maybe they don't always get new trilogies or do new solo films, but they appear in other people's films. But doubling down on the new characters, you'll just see them all over Marvel Phase 3, Phase 4. But here's my big question for you guys. Which other Marvel movies, besides the Spider-Man movies obviously, in the Avengers films, do you think we'll see Peter Parker show up in? I'm not expecting him in Doctor Strange. That's like the next Marvel movie that's coming. We do kind of know what the post-credits scenes are going to be. I'll do a video for that later because it's a little bit spoilery, but it's still kind of speculatory because a lot of people haven't seen the movie yet. But it seems like it's mostly going to be Thor-centric, just teasing Thor Ragnarok stuff that's happening. But there is a Thor Ragnarok video I was originally going to do till they announced all this Tom Holland stuff. So that video will post next. I'll talk about some Luke Cage at the end of that. It was a great series that I felt like lost some steam towards the end, so it wasn't quite as much fun as Daredevil Season 2, and the storytelling wasn't quite as good as Jessica Jones, but overall it was a great series. I just didn't like it as much as I liked some of the other series. So new Thor Ragnarok, new Doctor Strange posting soon. Be sure to subscribe to get everything. There's a whole bunch of DC stuff happening too. I explained that in the last big Wonder Woman trailer I just posted, so watch that. That'll give you an idea for some of the DC stuff that's happening next week. While you guys wait for that to post, you can click here to watch the Iron Fist trailer again, and you can click here to learn about the Ant-Man Easter egg that's going on with Doctor Strange. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.